For the first time ever, the FDA has approved a new daily pill for psoriasis that matches the effectiveness of a biologic without the hassle of self-injection, and it is called ICOTYDE. Developed by Johnson & Johnson, this is a first-of-its-kind oral peptide that targets the same root cause as some biologics, but you swallow it as a tablet. If you have been living with psoriasis for a long time, you know that a brand new type of treatment sounding this good usually has a catch, and I'm sure you want to know the exact numbers, the safety details, and most importantly, how effective it really is in treating those stubborn, painful spots. So in this video, I will show you exactly how good it is. Now, why is this a breakthrough, and how is it different from existing pills or biologics? To understand why, we have to look at the information that Johnson & Johnson has laid out. Until now, if you wanted a psoriasis pill, you have two options: the conventional systemic treatments like cyclosporine and methotrexate, which puts a blanket over the immune system, and because they are so broad, they require constant blood monitoring to check that your organs are doing okay. Or you could take a newer, small molecule drug like Otezla, which is engineered to be much more selective than the systemic treatments, but can be still a little bit sloppy, blocking things inside the cell that doesn't need to be touched. Biologics, on the other hand, are basically the endgame treatment currently. They are very targeted, aiming at a specific protein switch that causes our skin cells to hyperproduce. But because biologics are large and fragile, your stomach acid will instantly destroy them if you swallow them. That's why they had to be injected. And this is the reason why ICOTYDE is a breakthrough, because it is a targeted oral peptide. Peptides are a small, specialized protein, and Johnson & Johnson has engineered this specific peptide to be tough enough to survive your stomach acids. Furthermore, it targets the same IL-23 protein as modern biologics like Skyrizi. So we get the targeted safety profile of a modern biologic inside a daily tablet. It really is a breakthrough. Now let's look at the numbers, because this is how we can compare it to other treatments to see just how good ICOTYDE is. When Johnson & Johnson ran their trials, they didn't just test this against a placebo pill. They compared it head-to-head against Sotyktu, which is the current leading psoriasis pill on the market. They wanted to see who could clear psoriasis better. And the results were incredible. There were two trials done. In the first, nearly 70% of people taking ICOTYDE achieved completely clear or almost clear skin. In the second trial, similar success rate. To put that into perspective, Sotyktu only cleared about half of its patients in its own trials. But the real important number is when we looked at near total clearance, meaning achieving 90% reduction in psoriasis. Not perfect, but close enough. This is the more realistic milestone for most of us. In this trial, Sotyktu gave patients a 36% chance of achieving this milestone at week 16, but ICOTYDE achieved 55% at the same 16 weeks. For an oral medication, that is a huge leap in effectiveness. But let's be honest, as people with psoriasis, we know that it is a lifelong condition, so longevity of a treatment is equally important. So what does the result say after a full year? Does the pill still work? Well, according to Johnson & Johnson, by 1 year of usage, the percentage of people achieving 100% clearance is nearly 50%. Can you imagine that? Almost half of the people taking a single daily pill had zero plaques left after a year. And it gets even better. There is a completely separate trial that studies how effective ICOTYDE is on scalp and genital psoriasis. If you ever dealt with scalp or genital psoriasis, you know how miserable it can be. So these results are nothing short of amazing. 72% of patients managed to clear their scalp psoriasis, while an incredible 85% of patients cleared their genital psoriasis. So why should you care about all this? Because this is turning out to be a highly effective treatment option based on the clinical trial data. And for us, psoriasis sufferers, all we want to is to be cleared. And the numbers, they speak for themselves. It is looking to be an incredible treatment option. Now, before we are all blinded by the incredible data, let's take a step back and look at the side effects. Because it is an immune targeting medication, you might be interested to know what could potentially happen. And according to the official safety tracking, the side effects were actually quite mild. The most common things reported were headaches, nausea, coughing, and mild fungal infections. And since it is a pill, you bypass all of the common injection site pain, bruising, or swelling that you get with biologic shots. However, the official guidelines did warn that You shouldn't start it if you have an active, severe chronic infection or active tuberculosis. So for safety, check with your doctor first. Next, let us look at how much something like this will cost. Being a new treatment, you know it's going to be expensive. Although there isn't a completely public cost structure yet, the estimated retail cost for a 30-pill bottle is roughly $8,300. Sounds crazy, I know, but with subsidies and insurance, it will likely cost lower than that. And if you are from the US, Johnson & Johnson has a With Me program for this very treatment where you can sign up, and if accepted, you pay nothing, so you should take full advantage of that. For the rest of us who are not US citizens, this new treatment is still good news because if this becomes widely adopted, we might eventually get more variations of it or even cheaper clones, like how biosimilars came about by copying the biologic formula. So let's hope that happens. So if you are watching this and thinking, I want to look into this, what should you actually do next? Well, first remember that because ICOTYDE was just approved by the FDA, it is brand new. Your local pharmacy might not even have it on the shelves yet, so ask your dermatologist specifically about this new oral peptide, see if they have this option. And if you're in the US, definitely look at the With Me program and see if that helps you. And lastly, do understand that while the data looks amazing, it is not 100% effective. Treatments can fail, even biologics fail. I myself have also failed multiple treatments and have to look for the next one. But regardless, ICOTYDE provides one more treatment option for us and might pave the road for even more variations to come. What are your thoughts on this new treatment? Would you try it over biologics if the cost is the same? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. If you found this video helpful, like, subscribe, and share it with someone else that might find this useful as well.